everybody, welcome back to another episode of From the Tips. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the 3 shots that I think every golfer should have in their bag for around the greens. It's essential. It's a scoring area of the golf course. The more times you can get up and down, the lower your score is going to get. So today we're going to be going over 3 different styles of chips and pitch shots that I think every golfer should have in order to lower their scores. Let's get to it. Also guys, drop into those comments down below if you guys are liking these instructional videos. Right now we're in a little bit of a lull period as far as golf equipment releases go. So we'll start getting those in kind of end of January, early February. That's usually when companies start launching their new products. So we're definitely gonna be doing a bunch of equipment reviews this year. But if you guys like this instructional stuff, drop a like, leave a comment, but also feel free to comment down below what type of videos you guys would like to see. Do you guys want to see more course vlogs? Do you want to see more instructional things? Just let me know down in the comments. All right guys, so the first shot I'm going to go over is just a very simple bump and run. So you can use a lower lofted club for this. It drives me crazy anytime I see golfers always, when they're around the greens, always just take out the lob wedge, their 60 degree, and just use that for every chip shot. For this specific shot, you don't need loft. So I used to use a pitching wedge, sometimes a gap wedge. I've seen guys even use 9 or 8 irons to do it as well. But really simple shot, really effective shot. So I use this a lot if I'm pretty close to the green where I need the ball to start rolling like a putt almost immediately, and I have a lot of green to work with. So on this specific shot, the pin's on the other side of the green. So I'm just gonna try to bump it probably about 6 or 7 feet in front of me and let it roll out. But for setup, ball position is going to be slightly back, so I never really have a wide stance when I'm chipping, just because I feel more comfortable that way. And my stance is also going to be slightly open. I like to set up with a slightly open stance, just because it allows me to kind of just get through the ball a little bit easier. So I'm going to put the ball slightly back in my stance. My stance is relatively narrow, and as I'm coming through the zone, I'm going to feel like my right hand stays behind my left hand. And by that I mean, I feel like I'm just coming through the zone like this. I know a lot of people like to talk about how it needs to be a putting stroke, so it needs to be with just your shoulders. But the only problem where I see that is the wrists get very tense. So if you're thinking about it like a putting stroke, your wrists get very tense, they lock up, and you're just willy-nilly going through. And as soon as you tighten up your grip and you start getting pretty tense over the ball, what ends up happening is your club actually lifts a little bit off the ground. So a lot of times what you'll find is you end up thinning that shot a lot more than you would normally, just because your grip pressure is so tight, because you're just focusing on pressing in your shoulders and having a putting stroke. So I like to have a nice and relaxed grip. Like I said, put it off my back foot and feel like my left hand is leading my right hand. So I feel like I have a constant shaft lean. The club head is going to be behind my grip the entire time. I feel like I just hold that finish. Like I said before guys, if you're one of those players who would normally just take a 60 degree out and use that for every chip shot around the green, yeah, you can luck out sometimes and fly it next to the hole, be able to spin it and stop it, but it's not always the most effective shot, and it's not necessarily the easiest shot to hit either. This is by far the easiest shot to hit around the greens. I would recommend this for beginners or even really good players who have a lot of green to work with. It's a very simple shot, effective shot, and you don't risk a lot by trying to pull this shot off. So ball back, slight weight forward, just lead with my left hand. It's a very simple bump and run. All right, just to give you guys a little different point of view. So this is from behind. You can see my other 2 balls are to the right of the flag, just because I thought it was going to break a little bit more right to left, but my distance control is pretty good. So I'll walk you through from behind. So get the club down, put it right off your back foot. Your stance is going to be slightly open. Get a little bit of weight forward on your left, and then just lead with your left hand. Never let your right hand flip past. As soon as you do this, you're dead. You're either going to be chunking it or you're going to be thinning it. So always lead with that left hand, keep that shaft lean, and then you'll be able to pull it off. All right, guys, so the next shot I want to go over is called the one hop stop. So pretty much with this type of shot, there's a couple things you need to consider before trying it. First of all, what golf ball are you using? It's gonna help a lot, obviously, if you're using a premium golf ball, Pro V1, Callaway Chrome Soft, or TaylorMade TP5, something like that. Something you can generate a lot of spin. The other thing is, this is a shot that you need loft, because what generates spin is speed and loft. Those are the only things that really can generate spin. So pretty much the basic setup here for this shot is I'm gonna have the ball slightly back in my stance. It's not gonna be nearly as far back as my bump and run shot, but it's also not gonna be forward like I'm hitting a flop shot. So this one's just gonna be slightly back. I would think about more like right hip. And all I'm doing is I'm gonna be opening up the face. So open up the face, re-grip. And all I'm thinking about through contact is similar to the bump and run shot. I'm leading with my left hand and my right hand is coming afterwards. So I'm gonna have that continuous shaft lean, and then with my finish, I'm gonna finish with the loft in the air. So that's finishing with the loft in the air like this. It's not finishing with the loft in the air like this. You never wanna get into this position. This position is death. Another thing to think about before hitting this shot is your grip pressure. So I can't stress this enough. The reason you want a light grip pressure when you're trying to hit this spinny shot is because a light grip pressure allows you to generate more speed through the ball. As soon as you grip something tight, you can't get enough speed through the ball. And what you want is you want to actually be accelerating through contact. So what I like to do is just get a feel for it. Have my grip pressure probably at about a 3 out of 10. And I want to feel like I'm really accelerating through the grass. And when you do that, take a couple practice swings, really brush the grass, you get a feel for how the grass is interacting with your club, which is critical, because if I were in a situation where I'm really into the grain, so my club is really digging, that's going to determine kind of how fast I actually swing through the ball. So if I'm really digging into the grass and I'm not getting that clean turf interaction, I know I'm going to need to swing a little bit harder in order to get the same result. Where if I'm down grain, which is pretty much where I am here, I don't have to swing as hard in order to get the same result. So it's really important, take those practice swings, figure out how the grass is interacting with your club, then you can step up to your shot with some confidence. All right, guys, so typically the situation where I try to hit this shot is if I don't have a ton of green to work with. I have a little bit, but it's uphill. So when you have an uphill lie towards the flagstick, the ball is able to stop quicker, obviously. So it's really hard to hit this shot when you're trying to land on a downslope. So I always try to hit this shot where I'm landing on an upslope. So as you see here, the pin's kind of tucked on an upslope, where if I were just to knock it into that hill with this shot, it's just gonna stop just short of the flag. So see if I can do it. Put the ball slightly back in my stance. Nice light grip. Figure out how the turf's interacting. And then step up with some confidence. Didn't check up quite as nicely as I wanted to. See if I can get a little more spin into it. Hit the flagstick. So this is a really effective shot, especially like I said, when you're down grain. When it's into the grain, your club's getting stuck a little bit. It's a little bit harder of a shot, but for a situation like this, it's really not too bad. See, club grabbed a little bit right there, but I managed to luck out. Still rolled out to around the flagstick. All right, guys, so for the third and final shot, I'm gonna be going over the flop shot. So I put myself in a tough position here. The way the pin is on this flag, there's no really good spot to show you a flop shot. So all I'm gonna do just on the other side of this bunker, I'm just gonna be putting a tee down just to show what a short-sided pin shot would look like. So as you can see, if I'm going up and over this bunker, there's no other shot that I can really effectively get near the flagstick. So if I were to hit my bump and run, all I'm going to be doing is hitting it directly into that bunker. If I were to hit my one hop stop shot, I would have to land it in such a precise area where the risk just flat out outweighs the reward there. So I'm forced to just hit a flop shot. So really simple setup for the flop shot. So we already went over bump and run's back foot. The one hop stop is going to be a little bit more forward than the bump and run, and then the flop shot is going to be directly off your front foot. Sometimes off really tight grass, I can even go a little bit further than my front foot. But for this situation right here, I'll just go right off my front foot, basic flop shot. I'm going to be opening up the face as much as I possibly can. So this is a 58 degree. So this isn't the most high lofted wedge you can get. You can obviously get 60, 62, 64, but all I have in the bag right now is a 58. So I'll open it up as much as I possibly can, and then you re-grip it. I can't stress that enough. You don't grip the club and then open it, because what ends up happening is, as soon as you come back through the hitting area, guess what? It's square. So you want to open it up, then take your grip. This way you have a nice open face the entire swing. The next thing you want to focus on is, I like to think about like it's kind of like a small little action figure that I'm just chopping the legs off of this thing. So I want to really accelerate through the hitting area. So I'm going to have my face open, balls off my front foot. I'm going to get a ton of weight forward, and I'm just going to feel like I'm chopping these legs. So I'm going to end up hinging my wrists and snapping through the hitting area. This is a really fast swing, and it's a scary shot to try to pull off, just because you're in such short distance with the flag, where you think any miss hit, you're gonna just fly it over the green. But you just gotta trust that you're gonna pull the shot off, trust that you have good technique, and just be confident about it. So, like I said with the other shots, nice loose grip, just because you can generate more speed. Get the weight forward, and then you're gonna accelerate through the ball. And like I said with the one hop stop shot, when you come through the hitting area, you want that loft face in the sky. You don't want to be rotating your forearms over, because that's going to be actually shutting the face and creating less loft. So you're actually going to hit that ball flight lower than you normally would. So you want to keep that loft the entire shot, accelerate through the golf ball, and just be confident. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Just a short little instructional chipping video, but I hope you guys learned something. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Leave a comment down below. What videos do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see more instructional things? Do you guys want to see more course vlogs? The equipment reviews are going to be on the way. Just no companies have dropped anything, so there's nothing really I can post. But appreciate all the love, guys. Until next time, peace.